We're talking about the question of Ted Cruz as a presidential contender. Now, I have been sort of a believer in him from day one. I'm a big supporter of Ted Cruz. I think he is the kind of conservative that is winnable. He is the kind of conservative that people can rally around. And one of the complaints that I get from my fellow conservatives is that, well, he's so stubborn. He doesn't bend. He doesn't make any adjustments. And you write in your piece that he actually has done that. He sort of systematically reshuffled his staff in advance of a potential presidential bid, right?
Yes, that's absolutely true. The other point I would make very quickly, Mike, is that meeting him in person, I think, has an impact on these establishment types because you almost can't do worse than the impression that they have of him from the media. And I think it is somewhat important that his wife is a principal at Goldman Sachs, and he does know something about Wall Street. So when he goes to meet these people, he almost inevitably impresses him. He really can't sink any lower in their estimation. And what I've heard is that it would be hard for him not to make a good impression given what the baseline is that he starts with. So I think that serves as an advantage to him. And yes, he has made mid-course corrections, even though they're not widely publicly recognized. He's switched up his office. One thing, there were a lot of complaints about the difficulties working with his office, staff not widely liked on Capitol Hill, but he's made switched up his staff. He brought somebody in from Kay Bailey Hutchinson's staff to work on constituent issues in Texas to sort of quell, I think, the impression that he wasn't tremendously responsive to constituents but was using the seat sort of as a launching pad for a run for president. And so there is a recognition, I think, that things needed to change within his office, even if that's not tremendously obvious from what he's doing on the public stage.
I like the way you sort of pit these two images of Ronald Reagan or Barry Goldwater. For Ted Cruz to get the nomination and, of course, to win, he's got to be way more Ronald Reagan than Barry Goldwater. In your view, what is he more of? Is he more Reagan-esque, or does he run the risk of going the Barry Goldwater route?
I truly don't know, and I think that it's somewhat dangerous to put the Reagan and Goldwater framework on Cruz, though he himself, as I mentioned in my piece, does raise it by saying not so subtly that he is the Ronald Reagan of the 21st century. He says that almost everywhere he goes. But, it's a different time. The needs are different, and I'm hesitant to say whether I think he bears more similarities to Reagan or to Goldwater. There will never be another Reagan, and there will never be another Goldwater. But Cruz really, I think, is his own brand.
Yeah.
And whether that brand will work today and lead to Republican victory in 2016, I don't know. I think the field is going to be wide open. There will be a tremendous competition, and certainly it will be a lot of fun to watch as a reporter.